Being a beginner, I'm starting with a beginner homebrew kit. This is the Crafted Brew homebrew kit. It makes about 1 gallon of beer, which in my terms would be about 4 litres of beer, which is pretty great. This kit includes a fermentation vessel, a funnel, a thermometer, an air trap, plug, and most importantly, some sanitizer. The strain is mine. I'm making an Irish stout, which is also good because stouts are delicious. So most people know beer is essentially 4 ingredients. First one being water. Next ingredient you have are your hops. The hops I have are called Goldings. Malted barley, incredibly pretty much essential because without your malted barley there's no sugars, therefore there is no alcohol. I mean, now this brew kit does come with a dark extract. I assume that's for making the stout, which is pretty important. And like you last, your most important ingredient, your yeast. So the yeast I have is just a premium yeast, just standard for making ales, I guess. Now, if you are doing a small brew, you want a nice big pot, because if you have a bigger pot, there's less chance of spillover, which means you haven't been watching your beer, which is not good, because then you've got to clean up a mess. No one really likes cleaning. So I'll take my pot, place that on the stove, and essentially just start adding the water. About 3.8 litres is all I need. 3.8, beautiful. Now, in the time it will take this to heat up to 68 degrees Celsius, I do have my cheesecloth, which I can add my malted barley to. Oh my God, I just got dust everywhere. So we'll just tie that off. I'm gonna take my thermometer and just watch it as heavily as I can. I'm just confused because the thermometer is in Fahrenheit, and I know I need to get it up to 150 degrees, 55 degrees Fahrenheit, except it goes 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Oh, I missed 100, I missed 100, it's all good. I'm not saying my thermometer is broken, but there's definitely not meant to be juice in the top. I've come to the conclusion that my thermometer is probably broken, so I'm probably gonna mess up my brew here, but I'm gonna do it without a thermometer, see how we go. I mean, if I touch it at 68 degrees, it's enough, kind of like a warm bath, so I'd be like, ow, that's kind of hot. So I've gone onto a smaller burner just to maintain heat, because at this point in time it's not burning me, but it's hot. So I'm going to add in my malted barley for about 20 minutes, and then once that's done we'll go on to the next step. So as you can see, the bag's getting a bit darker, those extracts are coming out, and it's still quite warm. Still quite warm. I've got the stove going at this stage just to get those, keep it up at that 70 degrees. So it's been 20 minutes, so let's take it out. Hey Google, stop. You don't want to squeeze all that juice out, so it's going to go straight in there. Now what we need to do is bring this up to a boil. So I'm going to put it onto my main burner here. So pretty much as soon as that starts boiling, I add in my dried malt extract. I'm going to stir that in until it is completely dissolved. So I'll take it off the burner as soon as it starts boiling. Do you reckon it tastes like tea? It actually tastes like burnt toast. I don't think it's boiling just yet, but I really want to know what the malt extract just tastes like. Is that weird? I don't know what I expected, but it's very sweet. Okay, that looks like it's starting to boil, so let's crank off the heat. And we're going to slowly add in our malt extract. Slowly. It's like, you know, you put fairy floss in your mouth and the sugar all kind of sticks together. That is exactly what's happened. It's solidified. Get a nice big soup spoon. Oh, it's going to be hot. Kind of tastes like very, very sweet burnt toast. Weird combination, but I like it. All right, I think that's all mixed in there, all dissolved. Yeah, I reckon it's all dissolved. So at this stage, we do have our wort or wort, either pronunciation's fine. I go with wort, mainly because I'm correct. So we wait for our wort to heat up. I'm just gonna monitor it because you don't want to boil over. If it starts boiling over, just crank the heat off, flick it off as fast as you can, and just blow on it, blow on the foam, and it should go away. So I'm just gonna watch this until I get it up to a nice rolling boil. At that stage, I'll be adding in my Goldings, my hops, my beautiful, the bitter flavors. Watch as that, see all that bubble coming up? That's why you need to watch it. You don't want that coming over and just absolutely making a mess of things. It'd be very upsetting. Now the best way to avoid this, pretty much straight away, turn off that heat, give it a little blow. Look at that, pretty much almost instantly gone. So what I'll do, I'll get that heat a bit lower, get it down to a nice slow roll. So I've got a nice slow roll. We're gonna take our beautiful Goldings, crack them open. You have to smell your hops. They smell beautiful. Oh, these are quite sweet. Give these a smell. But look at them, there's your hop pellets just in there. Look at them, straight in. So it's had a nice rolling bubble, but can you see all those bits there? They're your hop pellets. They're adding a lot of bitterness and aroma to your beer. So I've got about 10 minutes left. Now is a better time than any to start sterilizing all of my equipment. I'm not gonna use too much sterilizer here because I do need to use it for bottling. So I'm only gonna use about a quarter. The main thing I wanna keep clean is the fermentation vessel and the funnel as well, because they do touch the beer. I will also do the rubber cork, and that's about it. And the strainer, sorry, and the strainer, and the strainer. So instead of using a tea towel, I think it's a bit better off using a piece of paper towel, because at least paper towel comes to you clean. Do the easy things first, which is your funnel. Get that nice and clean. I've got a nice new brand new rag as well. Pretty much anything that will touch the wort, you want clean. Now this is a bit slippery, but nice big shake. That'll make sure everything inside is nice and clean that way. Oh, hello. Now off to the side here, I have an ice bath prepared. That is 1 hour. So we're gonna put it straight to that ice bath. We need to cool it down as quickly as possible. So burner off, Google stop. Now off the burner. It kind of scares me because usually when you put something in cold water, it shrinks down very quickly and typically explodes. So we need to get this down to 23 degrees Celsius or 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Then we'll be able to put it straight into our vessel and add in our yeast. It's still a little bit warm, but I'm going to pour it into the vessel anyway. So you can see that it's not completely full. This kind of works out. I figured that would happen while it was boiling, that I'd lose a lot of water. I didn't expect to lose that much water. I guess it was boiling for over an hour. So what I'll do is I'll just take that, fill it up with a bit of water, and that should get it down to that 23 degrees Celsius, and I can add in that beautiful yeast. I'm just gonna take my picture from before. I have now sterilized this, so there's no extra cross contaminants going into this bad boy. And finally, in goes that nice, beautiful yeast. Wonderful. Take your rubber stopper. And we need to wake that yeast up, so give it a nice little shake. Just like that. Down the bottom there, see where I am in the reflection? All your yeast straight down the base there. And that's going to start producing some CO2. So for the next few days, fermentation is going to start. So with my vessel, what I've done, I've just run the tubing into just a glass of water. So just in case while it's producing lots and lots of CO2, if it does start to foam up, all of that excess is just going to go into the tube and then into that glass of water. But already you can see that it started fermenting within a couple of hours. There's a few bubbles floating straight to the top. So as you can see, there's now a bit of foam up the top there. That's what your runoff's for. So that'll just catch any sediment that's created out of the CO2 and leftover yeast that may have made its way to the top. You should be able to see down the very bottom, they're just jumping around, dancing away, having a great time, making all those beautiful things like CO2 and giving it flavor and creating our favorite, of course, which is that yummy bit of alcohol. So we're here about 3 days later. Fermentation has pretty much drastically slowed right down. It is still fermenting quite slowly, so I've now inserted my airlock. The airlock's going to work as a bit of a trap. So it'll let CO2 escape, but it will not let contaminants get in. We're going to leave this for about 2 weeks. In about 2 weeks, we're going to start bottling it. So after about 2 weeks, it's finally time to bottle the stout itself. Now, I have been sourcing some Grolsch bottles. It's actually quite hard. I did go to a couple of garage sales. I checked thrift shops. One thrift shop had one bottle for 10 bucks. The bottle itself with beer in it is $7. What the hell? I've sourced some brown bottles. I went to a local home brew shop and they actually had some swing top ones, which I was very happy about. Because my home brew kit only holds 4 litres, I really only need 6 of these. I did get 12 so I can do bigger projects in the future. But I'm gonna, again, sterilize these, get them as nice and clean as possible. So in goes the rest of that sterilizer. And this is where gravity's gonna become one of our best friends. So watch it go through the tube. Some stout's gonna come flying out. Oh, there he goes. All right, let's pinch that off before it gets too watery. And just get a nice glass. Put a bit in there. And you gotta give it a taste test, of course. You gotta make sure it smells good and tastes all right. That smells very alcoholic. It's not as bitter as what I expected, which is good. I'm sure it'll taste a lot nicer once it's got a little bit of fizz to it. But right now, it's just kind of a flat stout. Look at it go. 1 down, 6 to go. Now, for the recipe that I was given, it did say I had to make a simple syrup. I don't really want to do that. So I've pretty much gone the easy way and gone and bought just sugar tablets. Way easier. And then I don't have to worry about making sure everything's nice and consistent. I made a mistake. You absolute dickhead. Well, that is up my crack. Now that each bottle is full, we're just going to add in 2 carbonation drops into each bottle. Pretty much 1 per 375 ml. Seal these up, put them away, and store them for another 2 weeks. And then hopefully in 2 more weeks, we'll be consuming a nice, beautiful stout. If you want to see other videos like this, click here. There's a beer video right here just for you to watch. Other than that, make sure you subscribe and I will see you next time.